Number 31 Albert Square, home to Whitney Dean and the Butcher family. That was until Whitney disappeared from Walford. Exploited by the man she thought she loved, Whitney made a daring escape and reached the safety of a passing family. But how did a girl from a loving home end up down a dark road, desperate and terrified? To find out, we need to go back to Walford, home sweet home. Take a closer look and the cracks in Whitney's life are clear to see. We're going behind the curtains of 31 Albert Square to tell Whitney's story. Whitney Dean is one of Walford's best-known teenage characters. She's seen both sides of the coin in Albert Square, good times and bad. But life hasn't been easy for Whitney lately, and now she's involved in her biggest storyline yet. At number 31 Albert Square, Ricky, Janine, Carol and Max, Lauren, and even little Tiff and Morgan have all gathered.
She'll be fine, won't she?
They've got a big problem. Whitney has been missing for 2 weeks.
2 weeks, Janine? 2 weeks? You know, and you've been here, lying.
Oh, come on. She'll be fine, won't she?
She could be anywhere with anyone, who knows?
Whitney hasn't even got her phone, you mental witch! She's a young, damaged, vulnerable girl.
Family and friends played their part in Whitney's disappearance.
Well, where were you? Where were any of you?
And tonight, we tell the story of a girl who found that in the end, the only person that could save her was herself.
Whitney. Older one, dark hair, moody.
Vulnerable.
Lonely.
Quite feisty.
Beautiful.
Naive.
Kind, flirtatious.
Chavvy.
Impetuous.
Sad. Strong.
Survivor.
We're watching you.
Yeah? Now I'm watching you. Don't need no help from you. I'll do you a deal. You give me the 20 quid now, and we'll say no more about it.
I'm just happy standing here, taking in the view.
Yeah? I'll be view's looking right back at you and she ain't nothing.
And then face-ache over there starts yelling at us, telling us to get out.
Got some mouth on you, girl.
I've been more of a mum to those kids than you are.
I don't know what to do without you, little Miss Mum. What number is it? She's your mate?
Whitney Dean arrived in Walford in 2008 with stepmum Bianca and her brood, Liam, Morgan and...
Tiffany!
And they certainly made an impression.
How am I supposed to look out for 3 kids all on my own?
Because you've messed up with the rent.
You're supposed to be helping me out here.
I can't remember where your mate lives.
Oh, some help you're turning out to be.
Do not take this out on me! My first day we were on location. We did sleeping at a bus stop, like being homeless and stuff, and that was really, really good, except I didn't know who Bianca was because I'm too young, so I didn't recognise her.
This is all right for tonight, right, Whit?
Never told Patsy that. Never. I'm too embarrassed.
I used to love playing this game when I was a kid.
Yeah, me and Dad used to go camping too. I would describe Whitney as a troubled teenager. And if anyone shows her a bit of attention or affection, she kind of clings onto them, and she's quite desperate to have someone to look after her, really.
Whitney brings something different to the square. Bad hats and big jewellery.
Whitney's fashion is definitely out there.
I'd say her chav style probably does come a lot from Bianca.
A little bit on the chavvy side.
Gold chains.
How many gold chains does one person need? I mean, she's like a walking advert for a cheap catalogue.
Big earrings.
And the earrings, nearly worse than Pat's. Hair everywhere, loads and loads of mascara. Just a complete chav.
Oh, it suits you, that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nothing seems to really match.
You want to come over here and say that?
She's quite glam as well.
But you think
she thinks she looks good. She seems to really like showing off her assets, so when she goes out, she will have her boobs looking pretty on show.
She's had her fair share of romances in Walford. There was Todd.
Please, Whitney. I love you.
He got the old heave-ho.
Oh, well, never mind. Just gonna have to go and play with myself, I suppose.
Then there was Peter Beale, Billy Jackson, and of course, Connor. Playing Whitney Dean wasn't Shona's first acting role.
I've done a lot of musical theatre. I did that for 6 years. Oh, that's horrible. Oh, OK. Yeah, you can watch it if you want.
Thank you. We will. To understand Whitney, there's someone we need to meet. Tony King.
I'm home.
In 2008, Bianca's boyfriend Tony returned from prison to a hero's welcome.
He charms everyone, even Pat, and the kids are hopping around in excitement. You totally believe in this guy, and then at the end of the episode, you realise that Whitney's excitement about him coming home is not for a father figure, but the fact that he's been having a relationship with her for, like, several years.
It's going to be just like it was before. Just you and me, together.
Whitney, moving, darling.
I think you look lovely in the school uniform.
Whitney believes she's in a romantic film.
Ready?
You know, she believes this extraordinary, dashing older man has come in to save her and ride off on his white charger.
We're going to be together. Forever.
She thinks that Tony and Whitney are destined to be together, and they will run away one day and they'll be happy ever after, but it doesn't happen.
Everything he did was calculated. Everything he did was completely and utterly selfish, and everything he did was going to have horrendous repercussions for the people around him.
You still love me?
You're everything to me. You're my whole world.
Whitney chose her 16th birthday party to reveal the truth to Bianca.
I'm sleeping with him.
That ain't funny.
It's true. We're in love. We're really, really in love. And we're gonna go away. We're gonna go away together.
Her own kind of stepdaughter has kind of betrayed her. Her fiancé has betrayed her, that she couldn't even see it. She was that blind, that stupid.
There's nothing that could explain this away, nothing!
She's the one, right? She's the one that pushed it.
You've been abused.
That's not true.
Bianca is really angry, but heartbroken for Whitney because she knows what the issue is.
No. He's been abusing you for 3 years, and you can't even see it. That's not what it was like. He loves me.
Whitney just can't get her head around it. That's not true. It's not. It can't be that.
You can't see it now, Whit, but you will. He is a paedophile.
A what?
He's an adult, and you're a child. It's child abuse.
She's been profoundly damaged. She doesn't see the world as a good place, I don't think.
At EastEnders HQ, work on Whitney's latest storyline is underway. For actress Shona McGarty, it's an exciting day at the office. First up, makeup. There's time to run some lines with a little help from co-star Jacqueline Josser, a.k.a. Lauren Branning.
He looks after me, I look after him. That's not true. It is now. Get out. I'll have to tell him where you are and they're going to come looking for you. Yeah, go on then. You do that, Lauren. You go back. You go back and tell him, and I'll move away. Hey, your family. Okay, hey. Ring, 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 ring. Shh, that's it. Hello.
Lines done. Time for a quick catch-up.
All right, Jackie?
All right, Sharon.
We're very good friends, aren't we, Shana? Yes, we are. I've had a pretty easy life. Compared to Whitney.
I'm more like Lauren than Shona's like Whitney.
Because Lauren's sort of just a normal teenage girl. With a bit of an issue. And a lot of check shirts. And a lot of check shirts. Just like Whitney's style is a bit out there, isn't it? Really. I didn't brush it or anything. I mean, look at the quiff and the side. Just, you know, either have a quiff or a side. Don't have both because it's too much. But obviously, Whitney likes that, so let her have it.
Costume and makeup sorted. A rather glamorous buggy with Shona and Jacqueline off to the set. Ta-ra, girls. It's time to play Family Connections. For a free ham and cheese toastie at the calf, tell me, who in this square is Whitney related to?
There's Whitney. Her stepmother is Bianca.
I'm not even sure Bianca's her stepmom, is she? I think she just looks after her.
It makes Max her step-uncle.
Ricky is now her second stepfather.
Ricky's not her stepdad, I don't think.
Max is Whitney's great-uncle. But she's not even related by blood.
I'm so confused.
Lauren is her step-cousin.
I'm her half-brother.
I haven't got a clue who's related to her.
I don't know.
Here's what they were actually trying to say. Whitney Dean is the stepdaughter of Bianca Butcher. Bianca married Ricky, making him Whitney's stepdad, and they have 2 kids, Liam and Tiffany. Don't forget little Morgan. We're not quite sure who his dad is. Moving on. Ryan Malloy is Whitney's half-brother, who was married to Janine, who is Ricky's sister, making her Whitney's half-sister-in-law. Still with me? Keep up. Bianca's mum is step-granny Carol Jackson. Granny Carol's other kids are Sonia, Billy and Robbie, and of course the dearly departed Wellard. Carol is originally a Branning with brothers Max, Jack and sister April. We're almost there. Step-granduncle Max lives on the square with Whitney's step-cousins Lauren, Abby and Oscar, not forgetting Bradley, who died last year. Now, that wasn't so difficult, was it? Bianca's banged up, so stepdad Ricky Butcher is head of the family. Surely he'll be able to sort out a troubled teenager like Whitney. Oh, hang on. It's Ricky. Ricky Butcher, or Ricky! As we know him, was half of one of the 90s biggest love story. They went from teenage sweethearts to bride and groom. Until their love hit an iceberg.
Ricky!
And they sailed their separate ways.
I said I'd never do that to my kids.
Bianca.
I said I'd never have favourites, never spin them a line like they were fit.
After years apart, Ricky and Bianca found themselves back in the square. Instrumental in rekindling their romance
Ricky,
was Whitney.
do you believe that there's someone special for everyone?
I don't know.
How old were you when you met Bianca? Bianca, this is about making you feel good about yourself. And when you do feel good about yourself, you can start making Ricky feel good too.
So that's exactly what she did. 13 years, 2 divorces and 4 kids after wedding number 1, they gave it another go.
Ricky, you're all I want for the rest of my life.
And just like that, Whitney got a new dad.
I will.
And Ricky inherited a teenage daughter.
Just get out of my room!
You can't talk to me like that.
I could say a whole lot worse. You want to try me?
I don't think Whitney thinks of him as a father.
It would be very weird having someone like Ricky as your dad. You just wouldn't take any notice of anything he said, would you? Because he can't seem to look after himself, let alone tell you what to do. And he just always gets himself into a muddle.
For 20 years, he's been like, he tries his best, but he's always a bit half-hearted about everything, because I think he suspects that everything will go wrong anyway, because that's his history. Everything always goes wrong for Ricky in the end.
Somebody get that phone, please.
Ricky, Tiff's really sick.
Oh, she's not sick, she's faking it. She just don't want to go back to school. Tiffany, don't make me come up there!
With Bianca in prison, Ricky did his best to pull the family together.
We've still got each other, haven't we, eh? We're still going to be a proper family, okay?
But there was someone he forgot.
He's a good dad. He tries really hard, but he's never going to be the ideal person.
He's so busy with the kids, trying to get them to school, trying to make their lunch, make their dinner, be a dad to the kids, and it's difficult. Actually, Ricky, I could do with seeing her.
Look, I'll have a word with her, but it's up to Bianca, really, isn't it?
Whitney needs a mother figure, and there's no one around.
Look, she'll be out soon, and everything will be back to normal. You just got to keep thinking that, yeah?
And Ricky let Whitney down by not giving her the time of day, really.
I'm not really family to you, am I?
I really haven't got the energy for this.
And when he finally realises Whitney's in trouble, it's too late.
I should have gone. I can't believe it. I mean, what are we going to tell Bianca, Carol? Weeks she's been gone, and I've hardly noticed. How am I going to tell her that?
He simply wasn't there for her in her hour of need.
He does try, bless him, but he's not all there, really, is he?
Ricky was just a bit useless.
If you can't rely on your dad, then surely your gran won't let you down. Unless your gran's Carol Jackson.
Huh? You've chucked me for that! Connor, she's ancient, she's a gran, and so sick and desperate!
Yeah, she wasn't happy about it, was she?
Have a good look, because she's older than your mother!
When Whitney got together with Connor, she didn't expect any competition. That was until Granny Carol got her groove on.
It doesn't matter how old you are, if you fall in love, you fall in love.
I think she was made to feel special and found herself not being able to say no, really, despite knowing what the consequences might be.
She's never viewed Whitney as her grandchild, and also she's never viewed Whitney as Bianca's adopted daughter. She never had a connection, so she doesn't have any loyalties to Whitney.
I think the affair with her boyfriend was unacceptable to Whitney, and quite rightly so, Although Carol had her own intentions for entering into that relationship, I just think it was unforgivable.
I mean, I'm sure anyone out there, if your granny started sleeping with your boyfriend, it'd be a bit weird, if anything.
Whitney wasn't around when Carol first arrived on the square, so she wouldn't have known that love triangles run in the Jackson family. Dan Sullivan was Carol's boyfriend. She was even expecting his baby. But at the same time, Bianca had a big love in her life, the very same Dan Sullivan. When Carol discovered the affair, it was the beginning of one of the soap's biggest rifts.
It was nothing at all! You stay away from me!
She hated her for 10 years.
Mum, please!
Because of her relationship with Dan.
I'm your daughter.
No, you're not my daughter.
I mean, I love Carol because she's so messed up, and she's always been messed up. She's a brilliant character. She's so damaged, and she always does the wrong thing, and gets incredibly aggressive about the fact that it's always somebody else's fault.
You cheap little slapper! You're not even part of this family!
I'm a slapper, am I, Grandma? Go on, tell everyone where you were today.
Shut up.
With Connor.
You shut up!
Yeah, what, did he take you back
You
then, did
shut
it?
up!
I don't know what he's
You
throwing
shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
I think if Whitney was going to blame anyone for her running away, it would be Carol.
There's a lot of jealousy going on with Carol because clearly Whitney's younger and more attractive. She would have just not liked Whitney at all.
The family member that let Whitney down the most undoubtedly would be Carol.
I've told you, I ain't going back there while she's there.
Yeah, but it's your home.
No, it was, Ricky, it was, until she ruined everything. Whitney will not live there while she's there. It's such hatred that Whitney's got for her.
I'm not evil, Whitney. I'm sorry.
I think Carol feels incredibly guilty for Whitney's disappearance. She knows that it was her decision to keep on seeing Connor that ultimately led to Whitney running away. And I think for the first time in Carol's recent time on the show, we can see that there's a real vulnerability there.
I'm going to do my very best to make everything up to all of you. You know, you're not going to go through this alone, Ricky. And I promise you, we'll do everything we can to get Whitney back here where she belongs.
When your granny's your love rival, the rule book goes out the window. Luckily for Whitney, she's got Grand Uncle Max Branning on her side. Oh, hang on. Is that them snogging in the kitchen? Ooh. Don't worry, this is one tryst Max didn't want to be a part of.
What the hell are you doing?
No longer in Big Sister Carol's shadow, Max has taken a much bigger interest in his extended family.
You need someone to look out for you, baby, that's me.
No, I'm your older sister. I look out for you. You don't look
that's
out
right, you do
for
look
me.
out for me. When Bradley died, you were there for me, and now, babe, now I'm here for you.
You can't help me. No one can.
He's even established himself as a father figure on the square.
See that number there, look? It's a superhero hotline number. You remember it, yeah?
Superhero.
Oi, don't tell everyone. I think family is everything to Max. He loves his kids above anything else, and he'll do anything for them.
He's a kind of like extra surrogate father across the square.
Where's your superhero costume then?
What's over the laundry, isn't it? Doc's giving it a wash. Serious, right? If you ever need any help, or if you're ever in trouble, you call me, OK? Come and rescue you. What flavour milkshake you want?
Strawberry, please.
Strawberry.
But when Whitney leaves home and spends the night at Max's, Carol isn't happy.
Oh, just send her straight back home.
Well, Carol, I said she could stay for a couple of nights.
What'd you do that for?
Well, it can't be easy, yours, can it, with Bianca gone? No, no, it's like when these things blow up.
Yeah, well, Whitney belongs at home, so just tell her she can't stay.
And Max kicks her out.
All right.
Yeah, I'm having a wicked day on the stool.
Good. So
Look, I'm going to cook dinner, just to say thanks and that for letting me stay.
Yeah, about that. It's been a bit of a change of plan.
You said I could stay.
Yeah, well, now I'm saying you can't. Sorry.
It's not long till Max gets a chance to make amends.
Whitney goes to Lauren's movie night, watches a scary film, has a right laugh. Next thing, Janine bursts through the door.
What have you got that I haven't got, right? You ain't all that pretty on the inside, and we all know a little something about that, don't we, hey?
Go on, get out.
You could have saved me.
Get out! There! You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Come in the kitchen, come. I'll get you a drink. So you feel better?
Yeah, loads.
Good. Janine, she's what I call a horror night.
Yeah, I always did prefer romance.
I think when Whitney makes a move on Max, it's kind of like desperate, but of course to anyone looking at it, it just looks like she's being kind of tarty and bored.
She just sees this nice man that cares about her and wants to help her, and she just takes it the wrong way.
Do you know what, Max? You're not how I thought you'd be.
How was that?
Scary.
I'm a big softy, me. It's all front.
Yeah.
We did.
So nice,
no,
Max.
No, really, no.
No.
Just go back to your mates, go on.
Max, you understand me. You're patient and encouraging.
Really, please don't do this, mate. Please, no.
What the hell are you doing?
And to Lauren, that's like appalling that she could make a move on her dad.
You don't expect your best friend to kiss your dad in your kitchen when all your friends are there. It's embarrassing
and disgusting.
For a rare time in Max's life, he did the right thing.
Like Ricky, Max wanted to help, but he was already too late. Eastenders aren't afraid to tackle taboo subjects, and in a first for the show, they work with a charity who know a lot about sexual grooming. A 10-minute exclusive preview of Whitney's story was broadcast on Comic Relief Night.
Sexual grooming often happens to girls who are precarious. You get a girl, a troubled girl who's had a complicated life, alienated from her friends and her family.
You must be desperate. Not got any family. No friends. Look, it's all right to admit that you're desperate, you know. We've all been there.
Comic Relief are very, very interested in the research side of things, and they had their own research, and they fed that in as well.
And what was gripping was how seriously EastEnders took it and how they relished the opportunity to really talk to people to whom it was actually happening.
So I met up with a few young girls who are victims of sexual exploitation, and really, really sad actually, because they told me their stories and how it started, and it broke my heart.
Whitney's had such a rocky ride, and she does also have a certain, you know, innocence and optimism to her, and those are, in this context, also dangerous qualities.
Are you my mate then?
And whatever you want me to be.
No, seriously, because I need a mate right now.
Then it's lucky, all right, yeah?
Do ya?
Didn't just drive here to see the sights, did I? Was hoping to see you.
Young, homeless and scared, Whitney was vulnerable to sexual grooming.
Take me away.
What about your mates?
I ain't got any mates. I ain't got no family or nothing.
You must have someone.
Look, is that office still open?
Are you staying around mine? Anything you want, Whitney. Anything you want.
If you're a young woman and you're not feeling great about yourself, and somebody comes along with a bit of money and a bit of a car and makes you feel good and knows exactly how to say the right thing to you, how quickly you could fall for that.
You can just see it, what's happening and how she's getting sucked in the hope of something better and ending up in something much worse.
Today, things like this happen, and it's good to make girls aware, anyone aware.
I just really felt like I owed it to them to make this look real, and as real as possible.
And we just hope that the enormous size of the EastEnders audience means that you take a subject that's been in the dark, and that suddenly, as a result of this collaboration, the subject itself will have light cast on it, and people will suddenly, maybe even some people watching it, say, oh God, I'm in that situation. Someone I know's in that situation. We've got to get out fast.
Stand by, and action.
And in Whitney's situation, Lauren has arrived to try and help her friend.
What? No mystery, is there? It's just a bedsit. Where's Rob? He's out, he's busy. So he looks after you? Yeah. Gives me whatever I want.
And what do you do for him?
Nothing. I've done favours for him.
Wait, are you saying what I think you're saying? What, you and these guys? What, this? This is what love is, yeah? This is what you think it is?
Yeah, it is, and he loves me, all right?
Right. Like Tony loved you.
I think you better go.
No, I'm not going anywhere.
No, go on, get out, because I don't even want you here anyway.
I think acting in EastEnders is one of the hardest jobs in television because, you know, we put our characters through such extreme emotions.
I'm dying. Oh, you're right. Just feed me.
I know, I'm so hungry.
Feed me.
We demand they do it 12 hours a day, every day. You know, they have another 12 hours worth of dialogue to learn for the next day, like 5 or 6 days a week.
Yeah, I'm on my own. Yeah.
Don't look like it.
It's really had me there.
Who's your mate?
We got talking when I was I was getting your fags. Sorry, I nicked one. I don't mind.
I told you, don't like you smoking. Got beautiful skin, don't ruin it.
Should we go meet Jodie? Yeah, let's go meet Jodie. Who plays Rob? Like that. Who plays Rob? And I think he's from Manchester. Jodie! Don't be thrown off. It still is EastEnders.
And some of the stuff they have to deal with is incredibly difficult. You get through it if you have good mates on the show and you learn to laugh and you learn to joke and you learn to separate yourself from it.
I'll be back on. Cut.
See you in a bit.
There's one person in Albert Square who keeps everyone smiling, on screen and off. I think we know who it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Miss Tiffany Dean!
Put it there, partner.
There's more to this 8-year-old than meets the eye.
No!
She's a straight-talking cutie.
How thick does she think I am? Get a move on! Go away, dog breath. You're NFI. NFI? Not people invited. Tiffany.
And she's the philosopher of the square.
God created the world.
Not necessarily. What if Santa created God?
Well, I'm telling you, he didn't.
My New Year's resolution is to eat healthy. Might have done. Santa might have made the world with his elves and then given it to God for Christmas. How can Mary have a baby if she ain't even got a boyfriend?
You remember your Uncle Robbie, didn't you, eh?
Is he the clown who'll come to nothing?
Forget Pat Butcher or Bianca. This little lady is the heart and soul of the family.
I love you, Mrs. Butcher. Me and you need to talk.
And above all, she's a loving, loyal sister.
Oh, Whitney and Tiff are so sweet together. They're so sweet. Why is it always you and me that gets trouble?
Mum says we're two peas in a pod.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
There's only one present I want this Christmas, and that's for Whitney to be happy again. Because she's the best big sister in the world.
Draper, Whitney ain't 12 tomorrow, you spanner. She's 17.
It's card number 12. I'm doing her one for each birthday. So you're the spanner, not me.
But their sisterly love was put to the test.
I love you, you know that, don't you?
I love you too.
When Ricky dropped the bombshell.
Because you ain't everyone's dad around here, Ricky. You got Liam, and that's it.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, so take your fake little act and stick it. Because we don't want to know. Tiff's my family, not yours. She ain't got nothing to do with you.
No, you're the one she's got nothing to do with. Tiffany ain't Nathan's daughter. She's mine. Mine and Bianca's. And I've got a DNA test to prove it.
Ricky! Even though it turns out, you know, Ricky is Tiffany's dad, it doesn't make a difference to them because they're stronger than ever and no one or nothing is ever going to tear them apart. They're just so strong.
Still a sister, aren't you?
Of course I am. I'm the best sister you're ever going to have. And your best mate too.
And Tiffany oddly kind of, you know, looks after Whitney as much as she looks after her.
Yeah, that little sister is actually looking after a big sister. It's actually rather touching and lovely.
On set, an important scene is underway. Tiffany is about to solve the mystery of Whitney's story.
Diary of Tiffany Butcher, age, date and 1 month. Keep out.
She opens her diary and there it is. There's the answer.
Look, here in rainbow pen. He has got his own club and it is on the Stanham Road. Whitney says this means he is rich and his name is Rob. Oh no, no, no! Morgan scribbled. I never!
Maisie's apprentice on the show, Devon, plays little brother Morgan.
I didn't even get my line. I didn't even get my line.
Oh, Maisie Moo, I call her. She's a little darling.
I bless the day she walked in the door. From the moment we first saw her, we always went, she's so adorable and she's so lovely.
So Maisie's a really talented little girl. Really talented little girl. And she can do it.
The way she remembers those lines, she had so many lines and just...
You do bad things.
Bad things? What do you mean, bad things?
With Whitney's boyfriend. I saw you through the letterbox.
Maisie is a true professional.
Maisie, can we have you in, please?
She's always on time, she always knows her lines.
Miss Mum times 1,000. And Whit says she does too. Told you.
Oh, she's so sweet. I wish she was my sister.
She's actually 43.
Bye. Bye. Bye-bye.
Leading the search for Whitney is best friend Lauren. We've got to hand it to her. Despite seeing Whitney snog her dad, Lauren still tried her hardest to get her back.
I'm Lauren.
In Lauren's EastEnders history, we've seen her reveal Max and Stacey's affair and have a romance of her own with Peter Beale.